I had the most magical time in Salem, Massachusetts, and even though I was only there for one day, I saw so many things and made so many core memories I know that I'll keep with me for my entire life. However, that being said, I think I was a little bit overstimulated, and so I did not take enough clips or talk to the camera nearly enough. So allow me to do a little voiceover and explain all the things that I saw while in Salem for one day only. The first place I went was a coffee shop called Brew, and I got a small vanilla ice latte, which was delicious. Then I headed over to the Salem Witch Memorial, which obviously is a monument for those that lost their lives during the witch trials. I thought this was really important to visit, and I took time to reflect on what actually occurred in Salem all those years ago. Then after that, I began to browse around some shops, stopping in Pentagram and another shop which I've forgotten the name of, but I did actually purchase a few items in. And overall, I was really impressed with all the shopping that Salem had to offer. It wasn't something that I was really thinking about. And because it was 95 degrees out, I didn't buy nearly as much as I probably could have, simply because I didn't want to carry it around all day. But if I ever find myself back in Salem, I'm definitely going to be doing more shopping. And so just keep that in mind. Maybe go back to your car if you want to shop a bunch. I ended up eating in a spot called the Witchside Tavern, and it was really good. Then I headed over to the Salem Witch Museum and browsed around in their gift shop before my guided tour began. I really enjoyed the museum, and I talk more about it later in the video, so make sure to stick around and hear all about it. But if you ever go to Salem, this is my number one recommendation. Then I decided to walk around the town some more and went over to the Witch House, which is where a Salem judge actually lived, and I took a tour inside. On my way to the Hocus Pocus filming locations, I saw a lot of really progressive signs and icons, and that made me really happy, so I wanted to include it. This is Allison's house from Hocus Pocus. I'm standing outside of the Ropes Mansion, which was used as Allison's house in Hocus Pocus. It was really lovely on the inside, and I took a little self-guided tour. Next, I walked over to the old town hall, which was used in the famous I've Put a Spell on You scene in Hocus Pocus with the parents. Then I made my way over to Pioneer Village. It was closing basically by the time I got there, and that was an oopsie on my part, but I still got to walk around, and it was really amazing seeing where Thackeray Binks lived. I'm home now, and I'm going to end the voiceover here so that present day Lauren can give you a haul of all the things that I purchased. We are now in my little witchy room, so enjoy my altar and little horror room setup as I go over all the things that I bought while in Salem. So the first thing I got in the black hat was this hat. I knew I wanted to get a witch hat in Salem because of course I had to. And so I picked this orange color because I thought it was so unique. I'm not sure if it's crocheted or knit, but it is a fabric material obviously. And so I just thought it was really cute. I did wear it for a little bit in Salem, and a lot of people gave me compliments, which is really sweet, but ultimately it was too hot to wear all day. So this ended up being in my car. So if it's a little bit squished, that might be why, but it does have a wire in the end. So if it looks a little bit wonky now, I know I can straighten it out later, but I'm really happy I got this. I can wear it whenever. And so this was one of my best purchases, if not my best purchase while in Salem. I wanted to get this bag because I like to keep bags from shops on vacation. I'll probably fold it up or cut it up and put it in a little scrapbook, even if that's silly. But I got the hat there, and then I also got this entering Salem magnet. This is what the sign looked like driving into town, minus the witch of course, but I like to collect magnets from everywhere I go. I think that's a pretty common thing with those that go on vacation. So I wanted to get that as well. So the museum was incredible, and it told the story of the Salem witch trials, which again started with these young girls who were miserable and repressed in every way imaginable, most likely bored, coming up with these stories of the devil and witchcraft, things that they were exposed to in their religion, and targeting people who were innocent. A simple child's game, or as some historians suggest, these fevers and delusions brought upon them by a fungus in the corn or the wheat that they were eating called ergot. All of this brought out these sinister lies that caused people to lose their lives. I already knew the story of the Salem witch trial because I love history, but I still found it incredibly fascinating, and I did learn new information about specific people For example, Ann Putnam, as an adult, did take back what she had done, and she apologized. There was an epic quote that they used, which I cannot remember, but basically she went in front of the congregation or church as an adult and said, "I regret everything that I did. I'm essentially kneeling in the dust before you, begging for you to forgive me." And so I thought that was really interesting because I had never learned that she did that. That was the first exhibition inside the museum, and the second was a guided tour of another gallery that they had, led by a worker of the museum who gave a wonderful, detailed timeline of witchcraft and world history and how witches have been portrayed. I believe the thing that he kept repeating, which was also written on one of the walls, is how are witches perceived? And all that to be said, it was probably a 30-45 minute adventure, and it only cost $15. I would really recommend going to the Salem Witch Museum if you're in Salem, because that's not too much time to spend actually learning the history of the event. And again, the event that took place is worth knowing. And so I would highly recommend going if you have the chance. I did pick up quite a few things from the Salem Witch Museum, and that's just because I really enjoyed the experience. It's also probably because it was a large shop attached to the museum and air conditioned, and so I had time to browse before my scheduled tour began. Again, I'm going to be keeping this bag because I think it's so cute, but the first thing I got was a t-shirt. Everyone needs a t-shirt if they go on vacation, and so I got this one that says 1692 Salem Witch Museum, but the back is really why I got it, and it has a photograph of the museum. It's in this old church building, or building shaped like an old church, should I say. But I just thought that this was really adorable, and I plan on wearing this. I like that it's short sleeve, so I could wear in the summer, or maybe wear a turtleneck or something under it for fall, or with a cardigan. But I thought this was really cute, and so this was the first thing that I got. I got a couple of small things from the museum as well. So I got 2 pencils that say Salem Witch Museum. This is sort of a thing I do when I go to a historical place, is get pencils. I love using real wooden pencils to write. I personally hate mechanical pencils because I write very softly, and so if I use a mechanical pencil, because I write so softly, I often can't even see what I'm writing. And besides, a good novelty pencil is always a great thing to get. So I got these, and I think they were like 50 cents each. Okay, so this was kind of silly, and I didn't necessarily need to get it, but they had a bunch of croc giblets, or whatever they're called, croc charms. And so I got these. I have croc sandals that I do wear a lot, and I'm going to put these in the crocs and wear them year round. But this one is a cauldron. I got a ghost, and I do have a ghost tattoo, so I thought that that was cute. And then I got a black cat. I do have 3 cats, and obviously this is very Salem inspired, like Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, as well as Salem, Massachusetts. But I thought that these were cute and, again, silly. I'm sure you could find something like this online, but I enjoy it. The next things that I got were these coasters. I think these are just so cute and very practical, obviously. Anytime I have people over or I use them myself, I'll instantly think of Salem. This one, of course, having a cute black cat on it, and then this one actually saying Salem Witch Museum. They were about $3 or $4 each, and very practical, and I'm excited to use these in my home. The last thing that I got at the Salem Witch Museum was this deck of playing cards that says Salem Witch Museum 1692 again, and it's just a collection of little playing cards. Obviously very simple. I did not have a deck of cards, now I do. Same idea as the coasters. Whenever I see them, it's an instant reminder of Salem. So I thought that that was very cute. And then something else I wanted to point out, this is the ticket I got for the Salem Witch Museum. And with purchasing this, this is my sticker to get in. I saved on other tours and attractions. I didn't end up using a lot of this, but just so you know, if you wanted to go early in the day, you could use this at different tours. Like there was a trolley tour that I could have done, and you saved $8, I think, on it. Some of the different coffee shops in town, if you had this and showed it from that day, you could save some money. So this is another good thing to think about if going to Salem. If you go here anyway, might as well go early in the day, and then you can get some coupons off at local places. At the gift shop of the witch house, I ended up getting this cat poster. It did get a little crinkled in my suitcase, but that's okay. It says a love charm, and it has a quote from a book or an article called Dame Transaline by Distaff Gospels, 1479. But it says, well, she said, my good neighbors and friends, in order to continue our talk yesterday evening, I beg you to keep quiet, and I tell you as true as the gospel that when a woman wants to be well loved by her husband or her lover, she must give him catnip to eat. He will be so much in love with her that he will not rest until she is close to him. And so I just thought that was pretty funny. I liked the cat, obviously, that is on it. And this is another little cheap souvenir. I think it was $3 that can remind me of Salem wherever I put it. I have a sort of cat gallery wall by my cat's water station, and so I might have to put that there. I'm so happy that I was able to travel to Salem. It was such a magical experience, no pun intended. And even though I was only there for one day, I got to see basically everything I wanted to see. Salem has a really large shopping section, and even though I didn't get to really participate in all of that, I still really enjoyed my time. If I did go back to Salem one day, perhaps in the fall, I know there's more that I could see. There's places that I could revisit and be very happy to do so, but I feel really content with what I was able to achieve. That being said, though, I really enjoyed my time, and it's a place that I definitely would encourage you to go visit if you ever have the chance. I loved spending over a week in New England. I toured several different places. I went to Rhode Island. I traveled all around Massachusetts. I drove through New York and Pennsylvania, and I really just love that area. It really calls to me. There's so much to do, so much to see, and I know that certainly I will be back. I really want to go during the fall. I'm not sure how that would happen, but maybe it's something that I can work out soon. I'm going to put a comprehensive list of all the places that I visited, as well as link some of the resources that I used to plan my trip below in the description if you want to check that out. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, but you somehow found your way onto this video, I'd love it if you would do that as well. Even though the actual day of summerween has passed, summerween, the season, is still in full effect, and I hope you have a wonderful spooky summer. Bye, friends.